Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sitting here with two of my favorite people.
This is really exciting. I know, and also you guys, just to add to it, I feel like that
Oh,
I feel like I've created an ensemble with my own teacup.
I love this.
It does. Yeah.
Very
Goes
cool.
well.
Me and Andrea got the gray
It's
memo.
The
exactly right.
gray.
It's exactly right. I love that. I love that.
I do too.
Full spectrum.
I love it.
That's exactly right.
MC, would you like to introduce our lovely
I
guest
would
today?
love to. So, you guys, today we are joined by Andrea Paul of Plated Love. So, Andrea, through her company, Plated Love, is somebody that you can hire to come in and be a kind of do personal chefing. So, essentially, she can come in and she can cater anything for you, big or small, totally customizable. Such incredible food.
So
And as
good.
a matter of fact, and I just went and found this, you guys, on the cover of our most recent magazine, all of this stuff Andrea made.
Yes. And I
And
think there's a picture of her. Isn't there a picture of you? Oh, it's
I think
MC.
it's in the curated.
It's in the
Yeah.
Carteret curated one.
yes,
Can you
that's
tell we're
exactly
obsessed with
right.
you?
I know, you guys, it was the most delicious food ever.
Okay, I'm just gonna call off some of the things that you made us because I still dream about them. You did your homemade pimento cheese. You
Holy
did this
moly.
wasabi slaw. I don't even like
It was like
wasabi.
tuna with wasabi slaw.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Your Carolina
See,
beignets. I mean, it was just so good.
Thank you. I'm so glad you guys liked it.
absolutely delicious. We had so much fun. And what a treat, Andrea, just to be like, okay, everything is ready for us to enjoy. It was all on my serving stuff. It felt very I just felt totally at home,
Mhm.
right? But also you did all the work and it was amazing.
Amazing.
10 times better than had I done all the work. So it was just
Right. And you didn't have to clean up either. That's the
Yes.
everybody
yeah.
says that's the kicker. We clean up and everything. So yeah.
Sure do.
That's
Full circle.
so cool. So tell us, I mean, I want to know how you got the name Plated Love. Where did you come up with that?
My brother and my brother's a small business owner as well in Raleigh, but we were trying to find a name for my business. He said it's got to have something with my personality. I am this way, whether I just met you or I've known you for 50 years or something.
I
He's
love
like,
it.
you need something to incorporate that. So we kept trying to think of things like my nickname is Dree. It was like Dree's Kitchen. I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound good. And I was driving in the car one day and the song Tainted Love came on the radio. And it was just like, oh my God, Plated Love. That's it. That's got to be it. And I
So
called my brother like yelling, Richard, it's Plated Love. I got the name. That's the name. And then that's it. It's stuck.
I
And then we
love
just added on personal chef services to it to kind of give you, Plated Love. What does that mean? So that way people know what we do.
right.
So, Andrea, will you tell us a little bit about the pre listening to Tainted Love on the radio? What you did to kind of get where you are, and kind of your background with here locally.
Sure. I was born and raised in Swansboro. My dad is from Swansboro, so like we're old family from here forever. I lived in Cape Carteret for a while, then I moved to Morehead City. It'd be 9 years. This year we have lived here. Absolutely love it. I've been cooking with my mom since I was in fourth grade, making authentic Mexican food. Our tortillas, everything are from scratch,
Oh,
and never
you
thought of
gotta
it as
give
a
me that.
career. Always worked in food, but again, never thought it was a career. I wanted to be a psychologist. I love people and the why of people, why people do things, say things, but it was 18 years of school to be an art therapist. And it was very daunting. So it was like, okay, I tried twice, it didn't work. And then finally, I was working at Mac Daddy's as a second job, like 2007 or 8. And my boss told me, you need to do this as a career. You need to go to school for it. I went in as part time and took my boss's job in 2 weeks of just being part time. So it was like, okay, all the lights going off, like this is what you should do.
Right.
So my brother and I actually went and toured Johnson and Wales in Charlotte, fell in love. It was so amazing, but the cost of the college was just astronomical and again, very daunting and discouraging. So came back home, actually ended up meeting my husband at the time in Wilmington, was going to do the Cape Fear program. My dad got sick, ended up bringing me back to Swansboro, and I noticed that Carteret had a culinary program. And I actually wanted to be a pastry chef when I started because I used to paint and draw. I don't do it anymore. It's just changed to food. But I wanted to hand paint like cakes.
Cool.
Okay, this is 8 years of my business. I've never made a cake from scratch, and I don't ever foresee myself making a cake from scratch because
I'm sure it would be delicious.
baking and pastry is science. And if you mess up, Michelle, my sous chef, best line ever. If you mess up in that, you got to start all over. And cooking, you can figure it out, you can tweak it and make things work.
So
So
true.
as I was going through school, I absolutely loved it. I went to Carteret Community College. I got my culinary degree and my hospitality management degree in 3 years,
Wow.
under $10,000. Best decision I've ever made in my life. I ended up getting a Student of the Year 2014 when I graduated and got to go to France as part of the
Yes.
Beaufort Sister Cities. Yeah, going to Maubeuge with Chef Capel, and it was amazing. The cathedrals that we saw, the food that we saw, it was amazing. It was a learning experience, and I'm so grateful I got to do it. And then coming back, it was like, okay, I got to do something. I want to do something in my business. I explained to you guys I had an issue with migraines, couldn't like advance at jobs because of that. So I said, okay, huge leap of faith. I got to do this. I know I can do it. Somebody heard me talking about what I made for dinner just during the week while I was helping my mom clean houses. And they said, hey, would you be interested in coming in next week and making that for us? It was Mexican food.
No
I was
way.
like, okay, sure. And then I told my brother about it, and that's kind of how the ball went
No way.
rolling. And it's year 8 now.
That is
So
a
it's,
cool story.
I would say the first 6 years I did it by myself, except big events. I would call in the girls I went to culinary school with, or Michelle, who I worked with at Coral Bay. And then as of about 2.5, 3 years ago, I hired Michelle full time.
Michelle
So
was
it's
awesome.
just me and Michelle. Love her to death. We joke we're gonna get a tattoo. It says same page because we're always on the same
I
page about
love
things.
that.
If I'm down, she's up. If she's up, we balance each other really well.
I love
So
that.
yeah, that's how it
So
started.
Andrea, what are okay? I love the fact that you got these, this French influence that you picked up, of course, when you're able to take that trip. You've got this Mexican influence from your childhood, all these things. What are, if you had to name
Ooh.
3 or 4 of your favorite dishes, what would it
To
be?
make,
Yes.
oh, to make,
And
we
then
always say
clearly.
brunch, which you guys got lucky because
Yeah.
that's what you did. Brunch food is our favorite, both of us, because it's not just the fact that it's sweet and savory. The smells, they're just the
Yeah.
best smells. There's just butter and syrup
Pork
and all the good
products.
things, fruit. But it's very nostalgic. I think of brunch like Sunday morning before church growing up. My mom would make us breakfast if we had time, or when we get back home, we would have breakfast. So it's a nostalgic thing for me. As far as dishes, to make we love making our cauliflower and fingerling au gratin, which I created coming back from France. We had to create a dish for the escoffier dinners that they do
Yes.
for the pay it forward. We had to create a dish, and that is one that I created, and it is now our signature dish. It
That's
is like just sinful cheese and cream and deliciousness. It's so good.
Give me that.
It's so good.
That sounds so good. That
So,
sounds so good.
Andrea, will you walk us through? And I know a lot of what you do is fully customizable. So you could cook for 2 or you could cook for 20. So will you kind of walk us through how people can adjust to how you can adjust to their needs?
Sure, sure. Yeah, I always say a minimum, 2 people, one person if need be. And I'd say with Michelle and I, we say if the house has 2 ovens, we could cook for 50 people, just the 2 of us. As long as there's 2 ovens, because we could use one for holding. It just makes everything easier. But I start out, the first thing I tell people is how we do things. Again, like you said, everything's customizable. First question I ask, are there food allergies? Are there sensitivities? Because that we take very seriously. The first thing, I will never forget it. My chef, one of my chefs, Chef Garnett, told us when we sat down for our first class before we went into the kitchen, we hold people's lives in our hands. We make their food.
Mm.
You can make somebody extremely sick by not washing your potatoes. I mean, just something that simple.
Yeah.
So we take any kind of allergy sensitivity very seriously, do what's necessary, even if it's just gluten free. We make sure there are options, and I won't touch the gluten, and Michelle will take care of the gluten free, that kind of thing. And then just from there, I'll ask people, do you want appetizers? We do salad. We can do 4 courses. We can do 5 courses. You'll never make it through, but you can try if you'd like. Sometimes we just did it 2 days ago. The clients just skipped the salad course altogether because they said there's no way that we can eat. We just had apps, And then we're supposed to have Caesar salad and then 2 different entrees, 3 different sides. And we're just going, good luck, guys. Yeah. Here
What
it comes. You know,
I
whenever we're
love their
ready.
spirit that they said, you know what, the salad is the one we're going to give up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they always say. I'm like, well, it's already washed, it's cut up, it's in the fridge. So you
Save it.
still have the
Have it
prepped
tomorrow.
food and it's already ready.
Love it.
So yeah, and we do our own desserts, everything. We do everything ourselves. I only use local seafood from Blue Ocean Market. I love those guys. From the time I started my business,
They're awesome.
that's the only people I've ever used. And then for seasonal produce, Carteret Local Food Network, when they were still a thing, Island Produce,
Yeah.
and just I like Harris Teeter because they carry North Carolina products.
Cool.
So I try to keep it all as local as I possibly can.
Love it.
That is so cool. So it sounds like, you know, and I know from our experience that it's really fun to work on the actual planning of it and to figure it out and get excited so that way you've got the stamp of the person who's hosting the event on the meal as well, right? And then
Right.
you're helping to craft that vision with them and helping to bring it to this delicious reality. I love this so
Right.
much. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the information about how folks can contact you and can get their own plans on the books. And I think one thing we should say is, you know, I know your summer has been so slammed, and I also know that your off season is going to fill up. So if people have got dinner parties or things that they're hosting this fall, if they're looking out towards the holidays, it's not too early for them to go ahead and get on your books so that they can make sure
Absolutely.
they've got you for when they want to do that, whether it's
Absolutely.
a brunch or a dinner or a lunch or whatever that might be. Just, you know, think about how fabulous and know that you're going to serve something amazing, which we can vouch for, and to know that you don't have to do any of the work. It's so great.
Yeah, it's all done.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the way to go.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Meg, would you like
Thank
to
you.
ask Andrea our final question?
I would love to.
Great.
I would love to. Andrea, we are curious what has been saving your life lately?
Well, there's been a lot of things outside of the business. My dad's been in kind of bad health recently, but he's doing better. So knowing that my dad is doing better and getting stronger, I'm very grateful for that. I got a new car. For the first time in 9 years. I got a new vehicle last week and it's the newest, prettiest thing I've ever owned. And I still can't believe it's mine. And I've had it for a couple of weeks, but it was time. No air conditioner, my window, I mean, all these things, little things. I'm grateful that my business has been good enough that I was able to do that from
Amazing.
start to finish all by myself. And I still can't believe it. It just kind of blows my mind. And return clients. I have had so many return clients every year. This week, actually, Wednesday and Thursday, we're cooking for a family Wednesday and a different one Thursday. This is the 4th year in a row that we've cooked for them. We did one of them, we did their 50th anniversary renewal last year. They're from up north in Manhattan and love them. And I'm so grateful for return clients. I really am, because we already know them. We already know what they like, you know, and I try to persuade, like, hey, do you want to try this? No, we want surf and turf. We want fillets and lobster. That's what they always get.
Amazing.
Well, so good.
Well, the repeat customers are a sign of a very satisfied.
No kidding. Just the excellent job that you guys do.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Thank you so much.
Oh my
so
gosh.
wonderful.
I always say I named my business not just because of the song Plated Love, but we cook from our hearts.
You do.
When somebody cooks for you, not just anybody, but especially us, you are getting a piece of our soul and our heart in our food. And my husband can vouch. I will tell him, you never want me to cook dinner if I'm upset. Ever. I don't use the word upset, but because it's not going to taste good. It's just the love will not be there.
Good. That's so good. Okay, wait, Andrew, before we let you go, you know, I'm a major Magnetus. I'm a major like sauce, dip, accoutrement, side, spread, like all the things like that are the things that just, oh my God, they make my world go round. So if I'm looking for something to kind of zhuzh up like chicken or fish or those types of things as we're heading into the end of summer, like, do you have a hack for me? Anything that you would recommend that I do that's easy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We do an amazing seasonal fruit salsa. When strawberries in season, we use strawberries, but right now peaches are in season.
Gosh,
And we do simple peaches. I like to throw in some crushed pineapple, a little bit of the juice, jalapenos minus the membrane and seeds, red onions, honey, cilantro, and then you can also throw in strawberries because you can buy them at the store.
Sure.
But that salsa just mixed together and it'll last a couple of days. And you can throw in mango. And I will give you a little tip. Fresh mango is good, but it's not consistent as far as the texture, the ripeness. I highly recommend getting like dull mango. As far as for consistency, it's going to be the same every time you use it, and you know it's going to be good and juicy and succulent and all the things. But yeah, just mix that together. It's good for chicken, local fish. I'd say snapper, grouper, any kind of white fish. You can throw in some Caribbean jerk with it, so you got spice with heat, and then that adds sweet, and it'll just make your mouth so happy.
Okay, and will you send that to us so that we can post that in the comments too, in case somebody.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Andrea.
Yay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Love
you.
that.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Loved
Thank
it.
you guys for having me. I really appreciate everything that you guys are doing to boost my small business. I can't wait, and I can't wait to cook for y'all again.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yes, we're
us
counting
too.
down the days.
That's exactly right.
Awesome.
Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You.
I
just love her.
I know.
So the funniest story of how we got connected, of course, she's based here in Moorhead, but her brother Richard, who she brought up several times, is a wonderful photographer
Yes.
in Raleigh. And my girlfriends surprised me on my bachelorette trip in Raleigh
Yes, I
with the photo
forgot
shoot.
that.
Yeah. So when he realized that I also lived in Moorhead, he was like, "Oh, my sister," he made that connection. He emailed both of us out of the blue one day and was like, "Would you guys be interested in doing like a fun little collaborative photo shoot? Andrea would cook for you guys. I'll photograph it and we can all just kind of hang out."
And that's how we know her.
It was so great.
Well, Richard, aren't you
Thanks,
just the
Richard.
bee's knees? I think that's so great. And I also
Yeah.
love, remember it was just a couple weeks ago that we had siblings for the beauty barge.
We did.
And now we have
For
siblings.
or for the girls club.
Oh, you're right, the girls club.
It's siblings month.
Golly day.
I love this.
This is really great.
Yeah. Wild.
Okay, amazing.
Do you know what's saving your life right now?
You know what saving my life right now is something that I guess I knew about, but I kind of have never really executed on it, which is that at the end of the workday, you should change your clothes.
What?
I'm serious, you guys. At the end of the workday, when you come home from the office or come home from work, you need to transition out of like work mode and into like family or relax or whatever it is mode. And so just coming home and putting on, sweatpants.
So not the
Sweatpants and a tank
jammies.
top. Not the jammies.
jammies.
You got to have a go between. You got to have a
It's
little.
your bridge outfit.
It's a bridge outfit. It's exactly right. But it makes you feel like you're like,
Smart.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm in a different headspace. I'm in a different space. I don't know. I mean, I think, we don't have long commutes home in Carteret County.
That's true.
I mean, I know you do have further now that you live in Beaufort and you work in Moorhead,
bad
but
at all.
still, so I think there's just not a mental stop and mental restart.
I love that.
So changing your clothes.
Do you include shoes with your outfit?
No.
Okay, you know what's really interesting? I'm
What?
turning into my father because I now have to wear shoes in the house, even if I'm changing into a bridge outfit.
Okay.
Growing up, he just always would wear a shoe of some sort, even if he's in comfy clothes.
Do
So
you wear
I'm
like
doing the same.
Birkenstocks or something?
No, like athletic shoes, just in case like I needed to like go for a jog or run from something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I can
Okay.
explain it.
That was a really good question.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What's saving your life right now?
It is a drink from Historic Grounds Coffee.
Ooh.
And I think a lot of different places can make it, but it's a strawberry matcha iced. So it's not mixed into the matcha. Have you had one before?
No, I have not.
Okay, it's not mixed into the matcha. So they make a normal iced matcha, which Sean calls grass water.
Yeah.
However, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then in the cold foam, they put strawberry in it. So it's a little pink, but then they put it on top and you can do like almond milk, oat milk, whatever.
And then you mix it in.
It is.
So it sweetens your matcha at the same time.
Yes.
But it's not like a pre-sweetened matcha.
No.
Not like a pre-sweetened.
Nope. Now they do, they could do any flavor in that. So they could do a coconut matcha or a lavender matcha or whatever, but the strawberry,
Cold foam.
it's so good. And Historic Grounds, I haven't ordered it anywhere else, but Historic Grounds in Beaufort really does it
We
right.
have such great coffee shops.
I agree. We're lucky.
Man. Okay. It's a good one. That's a wrap, people. Thanks for joining us. Happy
Welcome.
Friday.